Today, we're going to talk about everything that happened this past week at the Tour Championship right here in Georgia. We're also going to talk about potential rumors about the Ryder Cup picks, which will be released tomorrow. I'm sure we're going to put something out about that. Hello and welcome back to Name Pending.
Name pending. I love that. That's awesome.
Name Pending. We're thinking about making a change to the podcast name. Apparently, the cut line is very popular. Of course it is. You know, I came out with this name 2 years ago. Now it's all over the place.
Sure you did.
But thank you guys for joining us. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff today. Zane, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I've got the tequila mixer here, just because I'm getting over a little cold. So I'm just trying to.
I'm just gonna do this for the audience. You know, just add a little ambiance.
Drink just a little bit of alcohol, not a ton.
Ooh.
But
Did you hear that?
But that's what I've. Huh?
Did you hear that?
No. I was just saying ASMR time, golf ASMR time.
Having Lismore 15 again. Excellent scotch.
It's the best. At least that's what I hear.
It's pretty good. It's not the best one I've ever had, but it's pretty good. So.
No, I was kidding. I have no idea.
Yeah, you're not a scotch guy.
Not remotely.
No. Cheers.
Cheers. Dink.
I just love the way it feels going down.
It hit you, didn't it?
Alrighty, so.
Yep.
Tour Championship. Viktor Hovland takes it down. Pretty much just continued his dominant performance from the week previous. Scotty Scheffler, pretty mediocre showing from him. Colin Morikawa made a big push. But Viktor Hovland, the champion. The Tour champion.
I mean, he just like you said, he just continued the momentum. He's really shown a lot of improvement in his short game, which we'll get into. But I think it just really shows how it was kind of funny. I was talking to our dad, and he made an interesting. He made an interesting, observation, and that is that it sure seems like every 6 months there's a new dominant guy. Every 6 months there's a new dominant guy, and then they'll be dominant for 3 months or 4 months, and then it's the next person's turn. It sure doesn't seem like we're ever going to see that time again where it's just one guy on top dominating everybody else for the longest
until
time.
Scotty Scheffler learns how to roll a ball straight for 3 feet, then yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing, right? I mean, if he coulda, woulda, shoulda, it doesn't matter what. I mean, we all can speculate as to what Scotty Scheffler could do.
Yeah.
The reality is he's not doing it.
Yeah, but so at the same time, he's the first person since Tiger Woods to average over a complete season sub 69.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not saying he's not playing good golf.
Yeah.
He's playing great golf.
Yeah, obviously.
The thing that the point that I'm making is that even as good of golf as he's playing, there's somebody else that's dominating the field. Does that make sense? Like, where was Scott? Like, Scotty played well in the BMW Championship.
Yeah.
But he folded at the end.
Yeah.
You know who we never saw fold, or rarely? Tiger Woods. So
yeah,
I guess the whole point I'm trying to make is that I don't know if we'll ever see somebody like that again in our lifetime.
Yeah, and
like Scotty might be that guy. He's not that guy yet, and that's all I'm saying.
So the way I think about it is this, and this is kind of my opinion on most sports, is you have to have like the era conversation. I mean, Tiger Woods. I mean, well, you could go all the way back, really. Who's the first dominant golfer you can think of?
first dominant golfer,
Mhm.
Bobby Jones.
Okay. So you go all the way back to Bobby Jones. Okay. Then who's the next one?
Next one's Jack.
Not Arnold?
Yeah, but I mean more
So
so
I'd
Jack.
go Bobby Jones. Shout out to Bobby Jones Golf Links. Uh,
What?
uh, then I would go.
Shout out to Calamity Jane. It's like what? Like what? We just naming things now. Shout out to Georgia Tech.
Uh,
We're just saying things now.
yeah, we are. So we have Bobby Jones. Then you
Uh-huh.
had Palmer's era, where he was
Yeah.
great, and then Nicholas was after him. Then after Nicholas, you had like 2 or 3 guys, really. Like I'm
Yeah, but
thinking
my whole
early
Mhm.
90s.
yeah.
And then you had Tiger starting out in 97.
But we're in that mid era. Like we are in that mid era. Like you realize that makes my entire point about
See, I
Scotty.
disagree.
I let me sway you,
Okay.
okay? So if you look at the era between, say, Jack and Arnie's area, right? Which they were, you could argue they were kind of part of that same era, right?
Jack
They
Nicklaus was
were.
21 or 23 playing in the Masters with a 43-year-old Arnold Palmer.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Arnie, then Jack, but you got to understand this, right? And so that's a very narrow window for all-time greats. But when you look at this whole new thing, whatever we have, it very much resembles that mid time between Jack
And Tiger.
and Tiger. It very much mirrors that. How do I mean? Well, you had players like Greg Norman, you had
Yeah.
players like Nick Faldo that were winning lots of tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
but no one was just beating down the competition
Yeah.
like Jack was or like Tiger did. And so that's what I'm arguing is we're in that kind of middle era where you probably won't see another Tiger win. Now again, Scotty's performance, you're right, kind of speaks toward that Tiger-esque feeling. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's got the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
right? But numbers, contrary to what the stupid ESPN show told you, numbers tend to lie a
Yeah.
lot, actually.
Surprising
Especially
that
put
show
in the
didn't
wrong.
last.
Yeah, surprising. Especially when put in the wrong context, numbers lie all the time. Especially how you interpret those
Yeah.
numbers, or leaving numbers out of the conversation, like the putting. And so what I'm trying to say is that yes, and in fact I tweeted it out. This is a good time to bring it up. I tweeted it out because it was a very, very good tweet. It's by Kyle Porter. Now Kyle Porter, I don't agree with him on everything. I don't think he's like the smartest guy in the room when it comes to golf. I do think he always tends to bring up like 1 or 2 really solid tweets per week because he tweets a lot. But one of the tweets that he spouted out there was he just wanted you to look at Scotty Scheffler's final numbers this season. Strokes gained driving, he was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Strokes gained approach, he was number 1. Strokes gained tee to green, he was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Strokes gained total, he was number 1. Greens in regulation, he was first place. Scoring average, he was in first place. Money earned, he was in first place.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10s, he was in first place. And aggregate score at majors, he was in first place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kyle Porter's bottom line there is kind of seems impossible that he only won twice. That's the problem, right? So when it comes down to golf, it matters that you win. And all those guys will tell you that exact thing.
Yeah.
All of them will. All of them will say it doesn't matter if I don't bring home the trophy. And it's so true, especially when it comes down. And this is kind of picturesque for Scotty's season, is the 17 at the BMW. Why in the world didn't he just hit the right speed on that putt? You know, and we talked about this last week. Why in the world didn't he just put the right speed on it? Because Scotty's a very talented player. Can he make putts? Absolutely he can.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have made a birdie putt on 18.
Yeah.
But he didn't give himself that chance. And that's my problem is he's not Tiger Woods. He's not going to be that dominant player unless he figures it out.
I agree with you. Okay, 100% agree with you. My whole thing with the eras conversation is, yes, we did have that era in the 90s where we had these like 2 or 3 guys that were winning a bunch of tournaments. Okay? Mm-hmm. In today's day and age, what I see more than anything is that we have, I'd say, close to 15 guys on tour right now that could win on any given week. And I think that speaks to the talent pool on the tour rather than, oh, we don't have a dominant player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair to your point, Scotty Scheffler is the only one right now I could see becoming that guy because of how good he is everywhere on the course, except on the putting green. And if there's one thing when you talk to people that got to witness Tiger in his prime, what is one thing they always say? With the lead on Sunday, the back 9, it did not matter. He was not missing a putt inside 12 feet.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's for par, birdie, bogey, does not matter. He does not miss putts on the back 9 with the lead. Which is why he had such a great record for all those years of this guy does not lose the tournament on Sunday. If he's in the lead through 3 days, it's his tournament. Mm-hmm. Because you have to then push to chase him. He's not going to make the mistake to give you the tournament.
Yeah.
What we saw at the BMW and then also several other times this year is Scotty does not have... Yeah, I'm going to put it in modern terms for the kids out there, the Gen Z crowd. He don't have that dog in him.
You're saying he doesn't have that dog in him.
He's the most talented golfer in the world, but he don't have that dog in him.
Yeah.
On the back 9, in majors, in regular PGA Tour events, and then starting out with a 2-shot lead at the Tour Championship, he didn't hold the lead.
Uh-huh.
And that's what it takes to be great.
Yeah.
Or you have to be really good at chasing people down, which there are good. There are people that, huh?
Talking about Scheffler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either have to be really good at holding leads or really good at chasing people down.
So this goes straight to my point, right? This goes straight to my point. Who does this remind you of? Who does this stat line remind you of? Tiger, obviously, but who else? Our favorite little leprechaun.
Leprechaun
from Northern Ireland.
Lee Westwood?
No. Rory McIlroy.
Oh. Yeah, kinda.
Come on. He was the guy that was supposed to take the torch. He signed that huge deal with Nike, right?
Yeah.
Left Titleist. I mean, there's just a lot of resemblances of this same kind of thing. And would you say Tom Watson was a dominant player?
Would I say Tom Watson was a dominant player?
Yeah.
No.
Would you call him? Would you put him on the same tier as Jack or Tiger?
No.
Exactly. But he was dominating the 80s. He was playing really, really well in the 80s.
Yeah, he was.
Greg Norman, same thing. Ben Crenshaw, same thing. So that's what we're in that middle kind of arena. Yeah, I mean, we're in that middle kind of.
You said our lifetime, though, so you don't think anyone's going to get there in our lifetime.
You just got to remember that. Well, you're right. Maybe not our lifetime. Maybe not. But you got to remember, golf's growing.
See, that's my thing. Is Tiger? Right now, we're seeing the people that Tiger inspired to play golf play on tour.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would argue that the thing that's making golfers better is the technology.
I mean, that's true as well.
I really believe that. No, I don't know about as well. I think that is the dividing factor. I think that all those players, like Sandy Lyle, Ben Crenshaw, Like those were all really good. I mean, they were all super talented players. And I would argue if they had the opportunity to hit with launch monitors and find their exact yardage, you don't think that they would be
I'm not saying they wouldn't be better. They probably would be.
They'd be I think they'd be as good. So again, this kind of goes to our same kind of discussion about the top 20 being the same. But everybody else, like obviously, if the pool's larger, if the pool of golfers larger, right? Obviously, there comes a point where the older guys aren't as good as the newer guys, right? Because it's a bigger pool, right? Because if you give a 1-for-1 down the line,
yeah.
But I'm saying for those top 20, 15 players.
See, I would argue that...
Say 10. We'll say 10. Top 10 players at a time. I would argue that they're all about the same. Well, maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. But I do think
especially before the split with Liv.
But I do think there's something different about the way Tiger plays golf and Jack plays golf than to how even the dominant players that we think of in our era play golf. I think that is something you can't deny, especially watching that TaylorMade stuff. Like that stuff's so interesting with those TaylorMade guys. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With Tiger telling them like what he's thinking about, and it's like not at all conventional.
Well, it's not only not conventional. Tiger would be the worst coach of all time.
Yeah, because he's just not. I mean, Tiger is Tiger. Tiger is Tiger. Tiger cannot teach somebody to be Tiger.
It's kind of like, you know who else is a bad teacher? And I've heard this before. I heard a story about it. Maybe not necessarily a bad teacher. He's probably better than Tiger. But I heard Ben Hogan wasn't a great coach.
Yeah, because he's a perfectionist. But there's a difference between Ben Hogan and Tiger. I think he's just got that.
Yeah, Ben Hogan got in his car crash while he was in his 20s. And Tiger waited until he was 40 years old. That's the difference.
But I do think that Tiger... I don't know, and again, maybe we're just speculating too much, but I do think that for those great next level athletes, we'll call them like the Michael Phelps of swimming, like of golf, right? Because let's just be honest, there's some athletes out there that just exist on like a higher plane of understanding that they can't verbalize, they can't tell you how they do it. Does that make sense? Like they can try, like Tiger Woods tries all the time.
Well, that's what I say. They don't have that dog in them.
Yeah, exactly. It's that dog.
It's that dog. Tiger had that dog in him. Michael Phelps has that dog in him.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler don't have that dog.
Scotty Scheffler doesn't have that dog in him.
Which I thought he would, honestly, the way
you know who I think does have that dog in him in golf today, right now? You know who I think has that dog in him?
Viktor Hovland?
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. I think he's too nice of a guy. You got to be kind of a jerk to have that dog in you.
Okay, tell me who has that dog in him.
I think Brooks Koepka has that dog in him.
It sure seems like it whenever he's playing well. But again, my whole point is I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he exists on that same plane.
When the tours converge,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Is that what you're saying?
We'll see. I'm just saying. I could see Brooks winning. I could see Brooks winning 3 majors over the next 2 years.
Well, he did say that thing about him. He's going to win like 20. That's what he said.
I believe it. I think he's got that dog in him.
We'll see, dude.
He's great. He's so good at the majors.
We'll see, because I don't think you remember how he was talking in that Full Swing.
Yeah.
That's not a man who sounds like he has that dog in him.
Bro, he has that dog in him.
I'm just saying. Like, he just doesn't sound like it.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Vijay Singh dethroned Tiger, okay?
Well, did he?
Yeah. He did.
It's true. I guess Tiger did dip. So
Yeah.
Tiger did dip and then he came back. So I guess there's something to be said for you can definitely take a hiatus. I'm sure Jack had those periods in his career.
Absolutely.
So
Everyone does.
maybe, but again, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think so, because a guy's talking like that doesn't sound like he has that.
Bro
dog in him.
won a major this year. He played in 4 events.
Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, and that is impressive because there is something to be said for you can't miss tournaments. There's something to be said for that grind puts you on that crazy playing ability
Absolutely.
where you just can go to that next level. And if you're not in it and you suddenly go into it, you're not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're experiencing that. It's like exposure therapy. You're being exposed to high intensity level golf. And it can be a shock to the system if you haven't been training up
I think
until that point or haven't been
I think
playing
that's
in
what
the
happened
same
at the
similar
Masters.
environments.
Honestly.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened at the Masters.
very possibly.
He played incredible through 3 days, and then all of a sudden couldn't hit his irons on day 4.
Yep.
But anyway, Viktor Hovland, short game used to be the weakness. What did he fix, Zane?
It's chipping. He did. Yeah. So the one thing I just wanted to bring up was, and this is, we kind of talked about putting last week. This week, talking mainly more about chipping. So one of the big things that Mayo, his coach, worked on him with is attack angle. Making sure that he has a more negative attack angle. And it was as simple as that.
So he was really shallow with it?
I'm sure, yes. And I'm sure that they're talking. I'm sure they worked a little more in depth than that, but not by much. Not by much, because the way Mayo talked about it was, Viktor Hovland is just one of those athletes that just somehow understands, his body moves. He can pick up things really quick. And so as long as you tell him something very basic and very simple, he'll pick up on it right away. And so they were looking at his game, and he didn't even start working on the chipping until Riviera. And so on Riviera, he just said, all right, we're going to work on hitting a little more down on the ball. Because he showed him the science. He showed him the swing, and he said, look how you're catching the ball. Like, they slowed down. The speed is there's no way you're going to be able to catch the ball flush if you're coming at it like this, or even sometimes up and clipping it. There's no way that you're going to hit the center of the club face and catch a flush shot. Now, that did come to bite him in the butt a little bit at the end of the tournament, the Tour Championship. I saw that he got a little too steep. And in the grainy Bermuda grass, that catches.
Yeah.
And so he didn't get through it, and he chunked it. But then he made a 25-footer. It didn't even matter. But it was a great point, and that's one of the things that I kind of want to bring up today was, as a coach, we always have to boil down things to the simplest elements. And if your coach is, so this is for those of you listening, if your coach is saying things like, Zach, you want to give an example?
Is this good thing or bad thing?
A bad thing.
Bad thing?
Like a bad thing to say to a new player. Or even an experienced player.
Yeah, you want to have some positive inflection in your hips at the top of the backswing. And make sure you supinate your wrist here.
Yeah, supination, yeah. Yeah, or internal and external, or all this other stuff. And again, there are those players that do want the more technical stuff. And whenever you're talking among coaches, that's a different story. If you want to talk about it, it's very interesting. I enjoy talking about the way the body moves and the physiological movements in the golf swing, and how, for instance, power is generated using the posterior chain. So talking about that and what workouts are best to do. It's really interesting stuff. But if you have somebody who has a specific issue and all they want is to fix said specific issue, then what you can't do is over detail things.
Yeah.
You have to be simple. You have to boilerplate it. So even if the thing has a paragraph explanation, you have to find some way of making it a sentence.
Yeah.
If the thing takes a full essay to explain, you have to find a way to just say it in a few sentences or a paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what a lot of coaches don't understand. So if you're a new coach, I would say try to learn how to say things in ways that are easily digestible to your students.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like even downward attack angle to a new player, for Viktor, that's pretty rudimentary.
Yeah.
For a new player, you might have to say, well, look, so we want to use the loft of the face. So if we want to use the loft of the face, we need that ball to hit here, right? We need the ball to hit the middle. So if I have the blade going up, there's no way that ball is going to hit the middle of the face. I need to hit down, right? So that's the way you can explain it to beginners. For Viktor, obviously he's been playing golf a long time. It's probably better just to say, hey, dude, we need to hit down on the ball. We need to have negative attack angle.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really helped him. And you saw it help him, especially on the deep, rough shots.
Yeah.
He was making much better contact, which obviously you will if you have a more steep attack angle in the rough. And he's very athletic. So, of course, with that steep attack angle, he's going to make good contact. So that's just the thing. It's like, I guess the thing that I'm trying to point out is you've got to make sure that if you're a student and you're getting instruction from coach, first off, tell them that you don't understand things. Don't lie to them and say, oh, yeah, I get it. Tell them that you don't understand what they're talking about. And if they continue not making sense, switch coaches, right? You're just not going to experience a lot of success if you and your coach aren't talking on the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about that. What about you, Zach? Do you have a?
So just to kind of, I just want to talk about a little bit how much the short game helped him. Zane, what is a course on tour that is almost defined by its difficulty dealing with chipping and putting?
What is a course on tour chipping and put Masters, the Augusta National?
Thank you.
It's like one of the
How
hardest.
much did Hovland improve his chipping and putting? Well, before this year, his best finish at the Masters was tied for 21st.
Wow.
This year he finished T7 with
pretty
a
good.
bad final round.
Yeah, he didn't play well.
So, just to put that in perspective, the difference that just fixing your short game and the contact on your short game, the control in your short game can do at a tournament like the Masters. I mean, Viktor Hovland, undoubtedly one of the best hitters of the golf ball in the world.
Yeah.
The thing that's held him back from being, I'd still probably put him, he's close to tier 1, but I'd probably still have him as a tier 2 in terms of how I think about the guys on tour. I'd still probably put him tier 2. The thing that's kept him from being that tier 1 guy has been his short game. I mean, when you look at a guy whose best finish is tied for 21st at the Masters and he's the best hitter of the ball in the world, it's hard to say, yeah, this is a guy who is top tier.
Yeah.
Also, as a guy who hasn't won a major yet, has he?
Viktor?
No.
No.
Yeah. So, never won a major. His best finish at the Masters is T21. Mm-hmm. And it's because of short game. If he continues to improve that and becomes even better, I could see him realistically being a top-tier guy. I don't know if he'll ever be dominant, but he definitely can have better finishes at the majors.
Well, a lot of people didn't think he'd continue his momentum into the Tour Championship, and they were wrong. So, I mean, it's very
Eastlake's not exactly easy around the greens either, so.
No. Heck no. Did you see the rough?
Yeah.
It was thick.
Yeah.
So, like, and here's the thing. So, like, whenever we get into next year, early next year, we'll be able to kind of tell whenever he gets done with his break. He's going to take a long break.
Yeah.
Long siesta, which he deserves.
Well, after the Ryder Cup, he will.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever he gets back, though. Yeah. Whenever he gets back, though, we have to make sure that we take a really close look at how he's playing, because he could keep this momentum up. I mean, he is so simple up here, right? And that's what makes the best golfers. I really believe that. I think that over analytical players can experience success, right? They do. Bryson, Phil, right?
Yeah.
Those guys do experience success. But I think the longer term success is the simple minded ones.
Or the extremely, I don't even think simple minded is the right word. I'd say extremely narrowly focused.
In a good way. Yeah, narrowly focused. That's a good one.
Yeah.
They're not like looking at broad stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Like
absolutely.
This shot in front of me right now, narrowly focused.
Yes.
Which is why Tiger was so good. Tiger, I wouldn't say is simple minded. He's just very narrowly focused.
Yes. Yes, he is focused on the task at hand, and it's very simple stuff that he's
thinking of.
Well, it's he's like, I want to do this, and he does it.
Yeah.
You know, he's not thinking about like, what if it goes there? You know.
So I dressed for the occasion tonight because obviously we're talking about Ryder Cup. It means you got to put the stars and stripes on. I'm a little disappointed in my co-host. He's just wearing a no, that's not even teal. What is that? Aquamarine blue?
This is blue, dog.
America. Alrighty. So, Zane, some leaks. About potential captain's picks.
Yes.
Let's hear about
it. So Justin Thomas, this is coming to you from Nuclear Golf, and this is kind of sad because they're usually right. Nuclear Golf has a really good record of who's going to live, you know, what the behind the scenes are, I don't know who runs it, but they're usually really good with info. They're not like Live Golf updates, you know, all those crazy, you know, they'll do like conspiracy stuff and stuff like that. They're not like that. So they put out something breaking. This is 8 hours ago. Breaking: Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler are getting a captain's pick tomorrow, per The Guardian. Koepka, Spieth, and Morikawa are also being selected, with the final pick down to Sam Burns, Keegan Bradley, Cam Young, and Tony Finau. Do you agree with the reported selections? So Zach, the question is, do you agree with those reported selections?
No.
Which ones and why?
I don't like the JT pick. I hate the JT pick. I'm okay with the Morikawa pick. He's playing hot right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with the Fowler pick. He's playing hot right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Spieth. I'm okay with Brooks. I do not like the picks at that last position. What is it? Burns, Young, Bradley, and Finau?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to consider the guy that just won 2 tournaments in the playoffs.
Like, what did Lucas Glover do to get hated by people? Like, that's what I don't understand how Burns, Bradley, Young, and Finau are all ahead of Mr. Two-time Lucas Glover. You know what I mean? Like,
if
that blows my mind.
If JT makes a Ryder Cup, and JT doesn't belong ahead of any of these guys.
No.
He doesn't belong in front of Sam Burns. He doesn't belong in front of Cam Young, Keegan Bradley, Lucas Glover, Bryson DeChambeau, Taylor Gooch, Tony Finau. I could name 30 other people he doesn't belong in front of.
Agreed.
He didn't make the playoff.
He didn't make the playoffs. How do you not make the playoffs and get chosen for the Ryder Cup?
That's wild.
That's horrible.
Especially if you're playing on tour all year.
Yeah.
It's not like JT took some extended break from tour, and that's why he didn't make the...
We've seen that before.
Yeah.
We've seen that before, and that's understandable. And we understand also, like revenue bringers, like Tiger. Right? They got the pick. They got the nod that one year. He wasn't playing too well or took off. But the point that I'm trying to make is, like, how does this man get picked?
The highlight of JT's season was him lipping out a chip shot to miss the playoff.
Yeah. I mean, I even said, who was it?
Someone said that he's got an impeccable match play career.
Yeah, well, let's go over to this real quick. So, Lou Stagner, who is awesome. If you guys get a chance, I know I've shouted him out a number of times. Check out at Lou Stagner, LOUSTAGNER. He's a golf statistician, right? And he tweeted that out. He tweeted out the same tweet that we just showed you about Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth. Not Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas. And so he said, if JT gets a spot, someone else much more deserving is getting robbed. And that is 100%
Absolutely.
Right. That is 100% right. And if you're JT, like, I get you want to get picked. It's the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, who doesn't want to play in that?
But how do you play with just the idea in the back of your head like you don't deserve to be there?
It's a good question.
And I like JT.
It's a great question.
I like JT. But that'd be like if I'm, I mean, that's just not, I don't know, man. That's just one of those things.
That's so bad.
It's so bad. If that's true, it is so bad. And it just shows favoritism by Zach Johnson. I'm sorry, Zach Johnson, terrible pick, bro.
He's going to lose us the Ryder Cup if JT gets picked
pick.
And plays more than... Well, he's going to play more than a couple matches, so...
Oh, I know. And he should play the least.
Yeah.
Should play the least.
It's wild that JT is going to get picked.
Just really dumb.
Absolutely wild.
I even said, who was it? Jeff Ogilvy? Jeff Ogilvy tweeted... Jeff Ogilvy is making a bold statement about Justin Thomas ahead of the Ryder Cup captain selections. This is per golf week. If they don't take him, it's the worst call ever. He's the best head-to-head match player in the world.
That's just not
true. And I quote tweeted and I said, no, he isn't, with a screenshot of his career singles record. Zach, do you want to know his career singles record? It's
11, 14, and 1.
14 and 1.
Yeah.
I looked up Dustin Johnson's singles record. It's 27, 19, and 2.
What's Patrick Reed's? I know Patrick Reed has a great one as well.
Oh, let's look that up, actually. Hold on. Yeah, it probably is. Probably really, really good. Patrick Reed. There you are. 18, 12, and 5.
It's wild.
So how, like, all I'm gonna say, Zach, is if it comes down to the final day, which it will, because it always does. If it comes down to the final day, and we lose because of freaking JT, I will never let him live it down. And I like JT, but I won't ever let him live it down. And I won't ever let Zach Johnson live it down. I hated whenever Tom Watson sat Keegan Bradley and Phil Mickelson for Tiger Woods and who was it again?
I don't remember.
That lost 2 matches back-to-back?
Yeah.
But he played him instead of playing back-to-back Phil Mickelson and Keegan, who were on a freaking tear.
They were undefeated at the time, weren't they, in that Ryder Cup?
And they could have played again.
Yeah.
And he sat him. For the freaking... And you got to imagine it's for the ratings. Because it's Tiger. But JT doesn't have that excuse.
Yeah.
Zach Johnson doesn't have that excuse for JT.
Mm-mm.
JT isn't a ratings driver. He's not.
Really.
No. People are going to... The same number of people...
Maybe 2 years ago he was.
Maybe 2 years ago. But the same number of people... If let's say if instead of JT it's Lucas Glover, the same number of people are going to watch the Ryder Cup.
You know why?
Because it's the Ryder Cup.
America. That's why.
But it's so true. It's so true. There's so many other names in the tournament, in the cup.
By the way, everyone, and I do mean this, everyone that made the top 30 and played in the Tour Championship that that is American and not getting into the Ryder Cup, JT is stealing that spot from them.
Yeah.
Russell Henley, Tony Finau. Yeah. If he doesn't get picked, he still might be a captain's pick according to this, between a couple different people. But it's so wild.
It is very wild. So the notables missing out, and this is the rumors. So this is nuclear golf again, and this is the final picks. We'll see if this is right tomorrow. But the final captain's picks is Brooks, Spieth, JT, Morikawa, Fowler, and Burns.
It's so bad.
So that notably leaves out Cam Young, Keegan Bradley, Lucas Glover, Bryson DeChambeau, again, who shot 58, Taylor Gooch, and Tony Finau. Zach, this is ridiculous on a number of levels. Yeah. Number one, I can make an argument for a lot of those guys for sure.
Yeah.
Right? I can definitely make the argument for Brooks, Spieth, Morikawa, Fowler, I guess Burns, right?
I wouldn't make the argument for Burns.
I don't even know if I don't even know if maybe the argument, but definitely not JT.
He played okay this past weekend though. Burns played okay this past weekend, so.
And there's something to be said. He actually made it to the freaking finals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like at least he made it to the top 30. You know who didn't make it to the top 30? JT on the list.
And let's be honest, neither did Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, and neither did Jordan Spieth. And so, look, again, JT, I think you leave him out. Take Glover, dude. The guy won 2 times. He made it to the final dance. Take Lucas Glover. How do you not take Lucas Glover? Keegan Bradley won more recently than Justin Thomas, and Keegan Bradley's playing well.
Won more recently than Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth.
DeChambeau.
Honestly, the more I think about it, I hate the Jordan Spieth pick too.
I agree with that. So I mean,
especially if the guy's not there.
Yeah. Well, like I said last time, I don't like the Spieth pick. I don't like the JT pick. I don't like the Burns. I think you take 3 guys on that bottom tier, on that notables missing out. I think you take Lucas Glover, Keegan Bradley, and Bryson DeChambeau. And
or
again,
Tony Finau.
2 tour guys.
Or
that's
Tony
2
Finau.
Tour guys. Yeah, Tony Finau. But that's 2 tour guys and Bryson. And again, I still don't understand not picking Bryson. I don't understand it. First off, Bryson he's a again, if you're gonna make the argument that JT needs to be there for ratings, which some people on Twitter are arguing, which is stupid. If you're gonna make that argument, who gets more ratings, Bryson DeChambeau or Justin Thomas?
Bryson.
I said not even like you can say it. You can say the answer without having to think about it for 5 seconds.
Bryson absolutely gets better ratings.
100%.
Because he's more exciting to watch.
Yes, he is.
Especially right now when JT is like struggling to shoot 74.
Yes. Yep.
So I don't know. It's
travesty.
I'm still gonna root for Team USA no matter what. But they're making it harder than it has to be.
Well, I hope you root for Team USA.
They're making it harder than it has to be.
No matter what, you got to root for Team USA, buddy.
They're still making it harder than it has to be.
Yeah. I feel you.
Because it seems so much more political. The Europeans have this down.
Yeah, they really do.
And
they know.
And the USA team's making everything so political. Like, there were talks that he wasn't going to pick Brooks early on. And it's just like, excuse me. He's a major champion this year.
Yeah, I didn't see what you were talking about last week. I tried looking that up. I didn't see anything about him not taking Brooks. I didn't see anything about that. Are you trying to find it?
I was looking up Keegan Bradley match play record. It's not great. He's won 1 time in singles match play.
Who has?
Keegan.
Oh, I mean.
In singles, he's not. He's a dud in singles. He's a good teammate.
No, I get that. I mean, again, like there's a number of people you can pick over Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
and I don't know why you want it. I don't know why you want it. I think that's dumb. I think that's dumb. I think it's a stupid choice. So
If I'm gonna tell you right now, imagine this thing. Ryder Cup time comes around. Justin Thomas pulls an offer in his matches. How silly does Zach Johnson look?
Really, really silly. And so like I like James Hahn too. Do you follow James Hahn?
Yeah.
So James Hahn, he said, would love for Zach Johnson to pick Lucas Glover for the Ryder Cup. For 2 years, the top players have been telling us to play better. Finally, someone has. Only time will tell if they mean what they say or if it's just a closed-off boys' club.
Ooh.
So true, though.
Yeah.
So true. All this Tiger Golf League thing and all that simulators crap. It's baloney, man. It's baloney.
Yeah.
It's baloney.
It really is.
And did you, real quick, before we talk about anything else, did you get to see what Monahan was wearing at the ceremony?
No, I didn't. I'm looking it up right now. Don't tell me.
Look it up. It's just freaking wild. It's so funny looking, dude.
Is that a pink?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jay Monahan.
I tell you what, the more I look at this guy, the more his face is just very, punchable.
Yes, it is.
Oh, they booed him?
Very much so.
Hold on.
Yeah, he got booed.
I want to first start off by thanking all the great fans of the PGA Tour. Viktor Hovland.
You hear that?
Boo!
Boo.
No, I did not attend. The Tour Championship. So that wasn't me.
That wasn't you?
No. No, it was not. I was in Athens. Although you might have heard my boos from there. So I don't know. It could have been me. Yeah. Every time this man comes on TV, I get this inkling in the back of my cerebral cortex. And I just immediately boo.
Yeah. Well, that's the same. They're getting the same feeling, buddy.
But
they're getting the same feeling.
Wow. That's a very interesting choice of clothing.
Mm-hmm. That's a bad choice of clothing. Don't be nice about it.
It's interesting.
It's just bad.
It's interesting.
So, hey, I just thought it was. I chuckled whenever I saw the suit. I was like, dude.
You decided to leave the house
you?
like that this morning?
And you kind of think in your head what they were going for with is harmless. But it just came off totally, flamboyant, we'll say.
To me, it came off as...
Effeminate.
No, it just came off as...
He's got that LD.
It came off as gaudy.
Yeah, it does.
Like, over showy. Especially with the bright... It's two different pinks. So it's like a pale pink jacket and about the brightest pink tie you can find.
Yeah.
It just came off as gaudy to me. And it's like, oh, yeah. I want to seem like, I'm not in it for the money. I'm here for the security of the PGA Tour. Let me wear this custom pink suit with this pink tie. Because that won't show everyone that I have way too much money. I can't just wear a black suit and a normal colored tie.
Yeah, he was like the effeminate one in a San Franciscan gay couple.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. I hope I get canceled for that.
You hope you get canceled?
I hope I get canceled.
It's a weird thing to say.
It is. One last thing, real quick, that I'm going to bring up because we're about to be done. Is I thought it was really weird. Did you see the Instagram post that Patrick Reed made?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't feel like commenting on it. It was just weird.
So I'll just go ahead and read it. He said, like, it was just a picture of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the caption says, I was visiting with my children last night, and I must say, my heart is warmed. I listened as they reminisced with smiles and longing about the recent At-Live Golf League tournament held at the Greenbrier. And it's just very telling of what this league does. As a family, we're able to hashtag make memories together. Number one, hashtag family friendly events scheduled throughout provides games, community involvement, concerts, and entertainment for all. Number two, I don't know a single player in this league who doesn't love the even playing field of the hashtag shotgun start. It's like, how many hashtags does this man have?
Wow.
Oh my God, the hashtag festivities are high energy and fun. Hashtag location.
He definitely didn't
location,
post
location.
that. I'm just gonna say that right now. He
There's
definitely did
no
not
way he
post that. That is some 14-year-old he hired.
There is no way he posted
He
this.
did not make that post.
Hashtag teams. The teams aspect is one of my favorite parts. Just can't.
Bro, okay,
Dude,
wait, no, this was part of his
people.
contract, and someone wrote this post for him.
100% they did. They were like, you didn't post enough this month for Live. Would
So
you
you
like
have to
do it, or
put,
would
you
like
have
us
to
do
meet.
it?
We're 580 characters short of your character limit posts about Live. So we have to put this 5-paragraph essay with all these hashtags in it on your Instagram. Here, we've already written it up for you, and we have the picture to boot. Patrick says, like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care.
I don't give a shit. I have to prop my ball
none of
up.
this happened.
I have to build sandcastles.
Like, I like Live. None of this happened. Number 6, hashtag best broadcast. I can't say enough great things I continually hear about the broadcast. The presentation of the scoreboard.
Hashtag best podcast. Shout out to Name Pending.
Yeah. Oh
He
my
could
God.
have given us a shout
That's
out.
it.
We railed for him hard
He-
last week.
Dude, he even put IYK. He said, if you know, you know at the bottom. It's like,
If
oh
you
my
know,
God.
you know.
Oh my God, dude. I'm quote tweeting this thing. Oh my God.
That's amazing. Wow.
This is comedic.
Alrighty,
gold.
so if you had to choose right now, Zane, this will be our question of the day. If you had to choose right now, who wins?
Yes.
Team Europe or Team USA? If the captain's rumors are correct.
If the captain's rumors are correct, Team Europe.
I agree. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that he's going to be I don't think anybody cleans their game up in time for that.
I agree.
I don't think you clean your game up.
What's
in time
Team
for that.
Europe's team look like? Obviously, they have McIlroy, Rahm, Hovland.
Yeah, so obviously it's Luke Donald is the captain. So they got Terrell Hatton, who was at the Tour Championship, Viktor Hovland, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, who were all played really, really well this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have, is that the only ones? Oh, they do a lot of picks. Oh, wow.
Hatton, Hovland, McIlroy, Rahm.
That's all they got right now, bud.
Well, let's
What do you
look
think?
at here. I'm gonna look something up real quick. That's weird that they have so many picks.
And I think that's how they've done it for a while, actually.
Fleetwood's got to be in. Fitzpatrick's got to be in. Those are the two other ones that I know are going to be in there.
Matt Fitzpatrick, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Tommy Fleetwood is going to be in it
Yep.
for sure. I don't think there's no way they don't take him. Who else? Well, maybe they don't win. Maybe they don't win.
Let me see. Hold on. So if you take JT, that gives him a lot of breathing room. Hate to be that
That's
guy,
true.
but it's true.
Yeah.
um,
Let's look at the Ryder Cup standings. Here we go. I found it.
okay, hold on. I'm getting there.
Here we go. All right, you ready? So you got Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Robert McIntyre. So
Okay.
those are European points. Robert McIntyre, Yannick Paul, Adrian Mironk, Victor Perez, Tommy Fleetwood, Rasmus Hogard, Adrian Otagai, Shane Lowry, Terrell Hatton, and Jorge Campolo. In the world points, however, so that was just European. That was European points.
Not just
world
Rose.
points-
Gotta be in
In
there,
the world
right?
points, you have John Rahm. Well, that's your European points, buddy.
Oh, okay.
You have John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Victor Hovland, Terrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, Matt Fitzpatrick, Sepp Straka, Shane Lowry, Justin Rose. Yeah, they're gonna win, bro.
Sepp, I forgot about him.
They're gonna win. They got
Sepp Straka, Justin Rose. Yeah, they're likely to win if we field the team that I think we're gonna field.
Yeah. And they always seem to play. And here's the thing. As opposed to Americans, Europeans always seem to play better as a whole play better as a whole rather than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Right? So those guys on the bottom don't really mean a whole lot because
Well, because that's what we thought last year, right? That Burger, the Burger guy, the Hessenberger, whatever the hell his name was.
yeah.
Like, no one ever heard of him. He won, like, one
Yeah.
tournament. And then he comes out in the Ryder Cup, and I think I remember he won his singles match. And I
Yeah.
was like, who is this guy?
Exactly. So that's going to be like your Robert McIntyre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or any of these other guys.
Well, and Robert
Rasmus
McIntyre's
Hogard.
seen success
Hogarth's
on the
been
PGA
playing
Tour.
good. I actually have been watching a little bit of European Tour, and Hogard's on the leaderboard almost nearly every week.
Rasmus Hogard is good.
Yeah, so like here's the thing: if he's on that list and he gets on the short list for Rome, dude.
Well, then
Dude.
you have guys that can play extremely well, like Thorbjorn Olesen. He's very good golfer.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a bunch of guys over there that, I mean, as Americans, we don't see all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'm thinking about, like, the players they have over there. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you're rounding out the top 5, or the top 6 with Fleetwood and Fitzpatrick. That's a solid top 6. I'd argue that it's better than ours.
Yeah.
And then you have guys like Justin Rose coming in behind him at number 7, probably. I mean, I think it's an uphill battle for USA this year, and I don't think it needs to be.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be either.
But we'll see
I
what
don't think it needs to
happens.
be either.
We'll see what happens. I'll still be Team USA all the way. America.
Yep.
But I tell you what, Justin Thomas better play his butt off. Or two things are going to happen. Americans are going to hate Zach Johnson. And they're going to hate Justin Thomas. And that's bad for the game.
It is bad for the game. I agree because I like both of those guys.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. Yeah.
I don't want to dislike either of those guys, but I will dislike both of them if again, if JT pulls an offer, I swear to God, I'm going to be very upset, especially if Lucas Glover's not there.
I think it's unlikely he pulls an over, but I think it's really likely that he ends up less than 50 or less than 500, I mean. I think that's very possible.
But imagine if he pulls a freaking offer.
Here, I'm just going to look up real quick TUGR, and for people that don't know what that is, that's the Universal Golf Rankings. It's a lot more accurate for how they're playing at the current moment or in the current year, the current playing year. So I just wanted to check real quick and see about like some names that are on Live who are European that are getting overlooked. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
I mean, most of the European guys on Live are like older guys.
Well, and they're from the world. Most of the really good ones are South American.
Yeah.
Or
well, I mean, think about like the guys on Live that are from Europe. I mean, you have Ian Poulter, Graham McDowell, Lee Westwood.
Yeah,
I mean, these would have been great names for a Ryder Cup 8 years ago. But today, no.
Well, and they haven't been playing all that great, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, Sergio Garcia comes to mind, but he hadn't been playing all that great.
Yeah.
Then you got also Alex Noren. He hadn't been playing all that great. And you've got...
I'm a big fan of Alex Noren.
Then again, let's be very clear. Sergio Garcia ranks above Hogard.
Yeah.
So... I think, right? Hold on. Yeah. In fact, here's a funny one. Nikolai Hogard ranks above his brother Rasmus Hogard.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
At least according to the TUGR. Maybe not according to the ranking system, the points. But according to how they're playing for the year, relative strokes, Nikolai's playing better.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting. So, anyway, that's pretty much all I got to talk about tonight. Do you have anything else you would like to talk about, Zach?
The only thing I want to talk about is it's been kind of a joke, but it is serious. We are trying to figure out a new name for the cut line.
Yes.
Can
I explain?
Huh?
Do you want me to explain real quick?
There are too many cut lines.
Yeah, there's like three.
There's like
different
three
ones
that are all bigger than us. Now,
Yeah.
could we mooch off of their name and potentially confuse search algorithms? Absolutely. But also it makes our stuff harder to find. So we are going to try and figure out a new name for the podcast. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments under the YouTube video or in the Spotify reviews. Please do that. We'd be very grateful. Also,
should we have the people vote?
No, we're not having a vote. This is a dictatorship. It is not a democracy. Okay.
Why not?
Also, in the comments of the YouTube video, let us know what you think. Team Europe, Team USA, who do you think taking it down? Thank you guys for watching or listening to Name Pending, the show. And we will see you guys next week.
Yes, we will.